this time of year, of course, you can imagine airports being full of people heading off for some summer sun. Non-essential travel, though, isn't an option, so perhaps you're going to look a little bit closer to home.
Sean is this morning at Caravan Park in the Lake District, having a look at how they will, I guess, hope that at some point they'll be able to welcome visitors again. Show us around a bit, Sean.
Yeah, morning to you, morning everybody. It feels quite a privilege to be able to go to a holiday park in the Lake District at the moment. Beautiful area. Very different scenes at reception right now, though. You'd expect business to be booming, but they've got the usual thing that we've seen wherever I've been the last few weeks of all the barriers. But then you look at the wider area, as you can see now, it's a bit misty this morning, a fair few midges about, but £3 billion the tourism economy is worth to this area around Cumbria alone. So no wonder they want to get reopened. Now, in England, we've been given that provisional date of July the 4th, but not confirmed yet. In Northern Ireland, it's expected June the 26th that caravan parks and camping sites can reopen. And all of that is because a lot of us are desperate to go on holiday in the UK. If we look at last year, and the facts we've got from last year, more than 60 million staycations occurred last year in the UK, us going on holiday around the UK, and about 13 million of those were caravanning and camping. So money to be spent, and there was a lot of money spent getting through all of that. You're talking about £2 billion spent caravanning and camping by all of us around the UK, but it doesn't mean customers don't have concerns when they come to places like these. So you've got social distancing is high up on people's questions, quarantine issues as well, and of course people have a lot of questions around cleanliness. That quarantine's an interesting one because people are a bit confused with all the headlines around needing to self-isolate and going on holiday about what you do next. So how do you handle all of this? Well, I've got Henry Wild with me who can join me for a little potter. Henry, you're the owner here. Different scenes. Are you ready? Are you poised to reopen if a date's confirmed for you?
Yeah, we're absolutely ready. Absolutely ready within the scope of what we can be. Material coming out of government hasn't yet arrived, but we've made an estimation of what we're going to do based on looking at all the other industries. So we've got a very good idea of how we're going to deal with that going forwards.
Can you give us an idea? We can just get another sense of how big this area, how beautiful this area is now by looking across the lakes. How much of a hit has been to your friends, family, colleagues in the area?
Well, it's literally just been like turning off a tap, but that's no different to anywhere else, is it? We've all been in this. I don't think it's any different up here in the Lake District as it is anywhere else. It is a similar story.
Biggest difference, do you think, for customers that are arriving? Because I mentioned a few of those concerns. That people are a little wary.
So there's two concerns, really. There's concerns for the customers coming in to make sure that we're safe and that we are going to do what we say we're going to do. But there's also concerns for the locality as well, and the people who live here. Because there's people in the area who are worried about people coming in, and we're seeing that around the country. But I believe that we can open safely. We can keep people in their holiday caravans. We can keep people on site. We're 140 acres here.
And you furloughed how many staff?
We furloughed half our staff, and then half our staff stayed on site to keep the operation running.
Well, I'm just going to have a quick chat to Ray now, one of those. I'll speak to you a little more a little later. Ray, you've been here, Ray. You've actually had the treats of enjoying the weather. How has it been the last few months?
It's been great. I've actually had the park to myself, and it's felt very safe. But we've seen the bluebells come, the rhododendrons come and go. I think, unfortunately, our customers have missed it, but we're looking forward to having them back. All the staff came back on Monday, and we're about to get ready for them.
What's the biggest change you've noticed or you've prepared for the coming weeks compared to how you used to work?
It's the social distancing, the space we've got to keep between ourselves. When people check in now, they won't be shown into their cabins. They'll be given a pack. They'll see a video of what they've got to do, and it'll seem familiar when they get there.
I'm going to show you a picture, actually. We've been in Ambleside this morning. We've been talking to a business at a caravan park. This is a 40-acre caravan park. And when you look at the caravans, at the homes there, all spaced out, they're basically saying they cannot get any business done at the moment, obviously because of the restrictions in place. They're hoping, as the government has said, there may be restrictions eased at the earliest July 4th. It's interesting, isn't it, Dominic Rob? When you look at that, you think you could go on holiday and you could socially distance quite easily there, but yet we see pictures of people going into shops which still have narrow aisles, not socially distancing, and they're allowed to do that, but not allowed to relax and go on holiday and socially distance responsibly there. Why is that?
Well, no, the 2 metre social distancing rule applies across the board. Of course, that's under review. You're right, it's good that we're getting businesses back. We've seen non-essential retail come back over the recent days. That's really important for the economy. Also, I think for people and to protect livelihoods and allow people to get back to something more resembling normal. Of course, the hospitality sector and indeed the tourism sectors are fraught with all sorts of particular risks, and we want to make sure that they can open up, but they can open up in a way that is safe and responsible. So we've said from the beginning of July, the 4th at the earliest, based on the progress we've made, tracking the data on the virus very carefully, making sure we continue this progress with our test and tracing mechanism, that we can take those steps. But the hospitality and tourism sector is one where there is a higher level of risk that of transmission. That's the advice we've had from the experts. So we do need to wait a little bit longer to make sure that we can do that responsibly. But we are itching to open up those sectors, both from a business point of view, but also from a consumer point of view. But we've just got to do it in a responsible way.
Also, all of us are talking about the idea of perhaps there might be a holiday on the horizon. But at the moment, non-essential travel the advice is don't do it. So maybe then you'll consider looking closer to home.
We can offer you a rather beautiful image. This is from our drone camera in the Lake District. Look at that scenery there. And Sean's there at a caravan park for us now. And Sean, when you look at that, there's everyone looking at that is going to think, do you know what I could really do with going to a place like that? And there are plans afoot in the absence of clear diary dates. People like the caravan park you're with today are trying to make plans, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I mean, just imagine the money that would ordinarily be spent on that area that you could see there in this area. The tourism worth about £3 billion to the Cumbrian economy in itself. So caravan parks like these, all empty at the moment. Now, we know that lots of us are keen to get away and to get away in the UK. We look at some of the stats from last year. We had staycation-wise, there were more than 60 million staycations in the UK in 2019. If you want to look at how many of those were camping and caravanning, more than 13 million of those. And then the spend, which is so crucial for people owning businesses like these. We spent more than £2 billion across the whole country caravanning and camping. Now, it doesn't mean just because everybody's keen to get back that there aren't concerns. So people who are looking to go on holiday still have issues around social distancing, what will happen there. Cleanliness is a question mark as well. And then quarantining, a lot of confusion about what actually is needed when you need to go on holiday. Now, actually, this is the toilet block here is one place that won't be reopening straight away. So if you're in one of your touring caravans and you might expect to be using the underfloor heating, they won't be opening that because of social distancing. Ray is one of the workers who's been here over the last few weeks, not one of the furlough ones, Ray. And so you've got the toilet block, and you've got a fancy new bit of kit as well that you'll be using in the coming weeks. What's this?
Yeah, this is a fogger. This will sterilise inside our hideaways and our tents and make it safe for our staff and our customers.
So give us a quick rendition. Right. So that'll do for us, Ray. Jill, morning to you. You're from Cumbria Tourism. Everything we've been discussing this morning, you can multiply that over all the businesses who are your members and you look after. What's the state of play right now?
Well, we're closed. We've been closed for coming up for 4 months now, and that's meant that businesses have had absolutely no cash flow. So we're losing what's left of the summer. So we're effectively going to have 3 winters. So we need to be able to move as soon as we possibly can now into being able to reopen this industry to take advantage of what's left of the summer months.
I had a few people get in touch with me this morning saying, we're talking about July the 4th as a date in England, provisional, not yet confirmed. If not yet confirmed, why are they seeing hotels and B&Bs say, we're open for business on July the 4th, book away?
Yeah, so the government announced nearly 5 weeks ago now that it anticipated the industry would be able to reopen from the 4th of July. We're just over 2 weeks away from that. People won't just turn up on the 4th of July without some planning. So businesses need to prompt customers. And clearly, the guidance is that we expect to be open from the 4th of July. If we can't, then, we'll work with customers to rearrange and rebook that. And that's been very clear in the communications that businesses have been sending out.
Have you seen in the recent weeks and months businesses go under because of this?
Absolutely, I have. And from our own research, our members, we've seen some of our members that have already gone out of business, but also they're really worried about the future. They know that they can hang on. Most of them can hang on for the next few months because that furloughing, because of the funding that's being given to support jobs, and that's been fantastic. But when that goes at the end of October and this industry goes into its third winter, they are absolutely petrified. We need government support to help this industry through the winter so that we can come back in the spring, bounce back and really drive the economy again. Because here in this part of the county, tourism is worth absolutely everything. Half the jobs in this part of the county come from tourism.
Well, Jill, thank you very much. Thanks for being with us. A lovely spot this morning. And reminder that a lot of people looking to July the 4th or June the 26th in Northern Ireland, caravans and camping sites can open there. There's a lot of dates about, but it's not just about the next few weeks.